Hello, my name is April Edwards. I'm a developer and I work for GitHub. I was previously at Microsoft and I'm also the dev practice lead in the advocacy org, so I get to do all sorts of fun stuff with CI/CD, deployments, and today we're going to talk about GitHub Copilot and AI. Why? Because it's everywhere. So let's talk about a day in the life of the developer. The reality is we don't actually get to write a lot of code. We do other crap, and the other crap is what detracts from what we love to do, and that's writing code. So we're trying to find a way at GitHub to help you be more effective at your job with GitHub Copilot. So we've designed this new developer experience with GitHub Copilot. How many of you have used GitHub Copilot? How many of you used GitHub Copilot Chat? A couple of you, awesome. So we have put this experience in forward for you, the developer, with you at the forefront of our minds. We believe AI will define the developer experience from the beginning to the end. So when we have that inception of our idea, or even picking up a new project, or picking up an existing project, or finding bugs, that will help you deliver better end-to-end code. So the history of GitHub Copilot, we launched GitHub Copilot in 2021, before ChatGPT even hit the market. So we were at the forefront of getting this product out there because we saw a need in the organizations that we work with, and also the open source communities. So we made it generally available to all developers recently, so you have access to it. But we're now putting Copilot in everything we do in our platform. So it's not just a coding tool, but we're going to help you collaborate better, be more productive, secure it, and scale. So whether you're a startup organization or a very large enterprise, the size of Microsoft, or a startup that might be just starting out. So we call this the Copilot effect. We want to maximize the developer happiness, which is what we're seeing in our developers. We want to increase your productivity, because at the end of the day, we want you to write better code. But we also want to accelerate software development, especially with the DevOps mindset. So what are the benefits? So we started measuring Copilot usage. We find that developers are able to be more agile, and we're DevOps folks, right? That's important to us. So over 55% increased agility, and it also decreases developer onboarding time. So we know that 55% faster coding, and we're also finding that GitHub Copilot is writing 46% of the code in many of the code bases that we're watching. So that's quite an increase. Come on, next slide. So we are building GitHub Copilot for the sake of developer happiness, because we believe that developer happiness is going to keep you happy in your job, you're going to write better code, and you're going to have more fun doing it, which means you'll actually probably also write better and more effective products, whether you're using accessibility or writing games. So we have these great stats, but more importantly of all the stats I showed you, we want developers to be more fulfilled, and we see that there's a 75% fulfillment rate when people are using GitHub Copilot, but we want that number to hit 100%. So we're not going to stop until we see greater fulfillment rates from our developers. So we know that about 1.5 million people are currently using GitHub Copilot today, and that number is actually vastly increasing as we go. So it is now available to everyone, where before you had to be on the beta, and there's some new beta products coming out shortly as well. So we release GitHub Copilot for business everywhere. So if you're an enterprise organization, you can enable this. You can enable this within your organizations, within your repositories, and get started right away. And we've also opened it up to the community so that people could get started and give us feedback on the product. So we also feel that less experienced developers have a much better advantage with AI. Why? Because they're able to learn. So when you're using GitHub Copilot or GitHub Copilot Chat, you can ask it to explain my code, which is fantastic. Because getting started on a new project, even as an experienced developer, I need to know where to start from. So what we've done at GitHub is we've obviously paired up with Microsoft, who acquired us many, many years ago, and OpenAI. And we use this first-party trust system to put guardrails in place, because we always need to talk about security when we're talking about software development. So we've made these decisions so that we can leverage that for you, the customer. And Microsoft has also integrated Copilot into all their products, right? Into all their Office suites, into PowerPoint, OneNote, Word, all that good stuff to help you be more productive. We're literally throwing AI everywhere into the stack. So we absolutely believe that GitHub Copilot is inextricably linked to the developer, and it's the future. So that's where we're investing all of our money. And most of the conferences you go to, you're going to hear a lot about AI, because we do feel it has that most impact. So we have a bunch of new features getting released soon. GitHub Copilot Chat is available. We're going to have GitHub Copilot Voice. So especially for accessibility, you can speak to GitHub Copilot, which is really cool. GitHub Copilots are going to also help you write your documentation, help you create better pull requests, and use the CLI to query. So we believe with AI at every single step along the way, we're going to realize the 10x developer. Imagine being able to do 10 hours of work in 1 hour, 1 hour of work in much less time. That's what we're aiming to do. So thank you all for listening about my little GitHub Copilot chat. I was asked to do this at 10 p.m. last night. So go forth and write amazing code.